Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking with Sal. Thank you for staying with me through my little YouTube hiatus. It was not intentional. I've just been super busy. As many of you know, I started my naturopathic medicine degree at the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, and I have just been swamped with homework. So it's cozy season, it's cuddle season. You want to just fill your belly with a nice hearty bowl of whatever, maybe go into a little food coma after. Now this recipe is from my mom's God of Recipe books, The Best of the Best, and it's from Ace of Spades. We are bringing you a red pepper soup. So today I'm gonna take this recipe, put a little bit of a twist on it, see what we can get, because, you know, I just wanna like snuggle up. Like, Sydney's here and she doesn't know what she's in for. Snuggle season. So yesterday, because I wanted to save some time, I roasted my red peppers in advance, and what I'm also gonna add is roasted tomatoes. So this is what they look like. They look kind of disgusting, but they smell good. I roasted them at 400 Fahrenheit in my oven for about 30 minutes, and I would check every 10 minutes. I waited until the skins were blackened, and then after I peeled the skins off, and they've just been chilling here. So now I'm ready to cut my onion. This is just a regular cooking onion. Gonna cut off our ends, peel the skin off because we're not freaks. I'm probably gonna cry. There's like a 90% chance I'm gonna cry after cutting this. So in one of my classes at CCNM, we've been learning about botanicals, and under botanicals we also get herbs, we get vegetables, onion in my hair. We get vegetables, we get fruits, we get all of it. So what I learned about onions is they contain this compound called quercetin, which is great because it is an antioxidant and it is also an anti-cancer preventing agent. So quercetin is yellow, it's at the top of the onion. Just some, fun facts. So how I'm cutting my onion is I kind of cut it at an angle after I cut it in half. And now I'm just gonna cut the sides, dice her up. Oh yeah, I can feel that acid coming into my eyes. I'm gonna cry. This is crying with Sal, not cooking with Sal. Oh, I know the hack for onions to make sure that you don't cry is putting them in the fridge because it stops the gases from releasing. But I didn't do that because, I'm not smart enough to think of my own advice. I preach, but I don't practice. Okay, I need a break. Now that I finished cutting my onion and finished crying, I'm gonna show you guys a little trick on how to cut basil. So thank you, Michael's mom, Helen, for passing this basil along to me because we didn't use it in our ravioli. So what I like to do is put a bunch of leaves together and then you roll them up and you just cut them like so. And you get really nice, fine pieces of basil, which you can use for garnish or you can use it in the soup. Just adds a nice flavor. And from these red peppers that I've already roasted, I'm just gonna take them up and cut them up a bit more. They're very soft, so they shouldn't be a trouble to get going. Also, this recipe calls for 4 red peppers roasted. I did 3 red peppers, and I'm also gonna throw in 2 roasted tomatoes because I feel like tomatoes and red peppers complement each other really well. Cool, now that I've done chopping and prepping, it's time to get a boiling and souping. Okay, now before I start, I also want to say a lot of substitutes can be made to this recipe to make it vegan or vegetarian. I am going to use butter, which you can use an alternative vegan butter for, and this recipe doesn't originally call for cream, so you can make it without cream and make it vegan or vegetarian with a vegetable broth, but I'm going to do a little bit of cream just because I like creamy red pepper soup, and I'm also going to use chicken broth because my family doesn't like vegetable broth. So I'm going to start by turning my stove onto a medium-high heat, throwing in 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna saute my onions and garlic in that butter until they're soft. I'm just gonna add these onions in. The great thing about this recipe is you don't have to cut your onions perfect, you don't have to cut your red peppers perfect, because in the end we're gonna blend it all up. and it's gonna come together beautifully. I also mentioned previously in another recipe the benefits of garlic. So garlic is probably my favorite herb flavor essence that you can add into food. I've just always, like, if the recipe says 2 cloves, I put 4. I just love it. When you use garlic, it's great to press it instead of dicing it and let it sit for 10 minutes. And what that does is it allows a compound in it called allicin to convert to allicin by reacting with the enzymes in it. And what that does is it creates this beautiful phytochemical that is an antioxidant, it's an anti-cancer, it's an anti-hypertensive, it's just an all-around amazing compound. And you know what? If I can just add a little bit of extra garlic to get that added benefit, you know I'm going to. Now that my onions are soft and perfect and they're just smelling amazing, I'm gonna add my roasted tomatoes and my roasted red peppers. I already smell this soup coming together. I am so pumped. And I've never made a roasted red pepper soup, but it is really easy to do. If you're kind of a beginner with soups, you're not really sure how it's gonna taste. It's a very flexible recipe. So if you mess something up, measurements are a little bit off, most likely it's very forgiving. My red peppers are kind of breaking up beautifully. Honestly, now that I'm thinking of it, I probably could have added maybe 3 tomatoes instead of 2 because the tomatoes are creating this beautiful essence. All right, now that they've kind of softened up, I'm gonna just throw a pinch of basil in. Not too much because we don't want to overpower it. Some salt. Pepper. And now we put in the liquid. All right, so a liter of chicken broth is equal to 4 cups, so I'm gonna put this entire thing in. Maybe I'll do 3 cups, I don't know. I'm kind of the queen of eyeballing and guesstimating. Yeah, we'll just pour the entire thing in, that's fine. And I get my organic chicken broth from Costco in a 6-pack. Fantastic. I'm gonna say this is gonna be about a 1/4 cup of cream. And cream is actually whipping cream, it's 35% fat, so you can just use that. I might as well just add the entire thing because there's barely anything left. Cool, and that will give our soup a nice thicker texture. And now I'm just gonna let it simmer for 20 minutes on low. Okay, now while I wait 20 minutes for my delicious soup to boil, I just wanted to talk to you guys about a new product that has just launched on the market. It is North Cookie Co. by my friend Arya. He released and created this company. North Cookie Co. prides themselves in making an alternative for a healthy chocolate chip cookie. They have amazing ingredients in it. One of the things that I love about North Cookie Co. is that their cookies have a low glycemic index. And what that means is after you eat them, your insulin won't spike as much. So, you know, great for those people who are trying to watch the sugar, watch their carb intake, you know, diabetes, my keto people. So this is the product for you. It comes in 6 cute little packs in a box with 2 cookies per pack. Perfect for on the go. I keep a box of these in my car because after dance, I get really snacky. All right, now that I've waited 20 minutes-ish for my soup to boil, she smells good. I got my immersion blender. You can also do this with a regular blender, and I'm just gonna immersion blender it all up. If you are using a regular blender though, divide this in batches, do about 1/3 at a time. That way the steam doesn't make it explode in your face. All right, here we go.
Give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be
That was
with
a
you
lot.
somehow.
Next level.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you.
Okay, she's so good. She's bringing me guelph vibes. I feel like I'm back at the Red Root Cafe. I loved that I added cream into this. I'm actually very happy that I did because it gave it such a nice texture. The tomatoes also added a nice acidity. So feel free to play with this recipe, but this recipe is appreciated and loved by Cooking with Sal. So make sure to like and subscribe for more. Catch you guys later. Me and Sydney are gonna eat.